Born George Randolph Scott on January 23, 1898, in Orange County, Virginia, he became an enduring symbol of Hollywood's golden age. Tall, composed, and exuding calm authority, Scott personified the ideal American cowboy, courageous, principled, and steady. Yet beneath the surface of his public persona lay a man of deep reflection, empathy, and sensitivity. In later years, Scott spoke openly about the unspoken struggles many of his contemporaries faced, recognizing the weight of secrecy and societal pressures. Among those he admired most were 6 men whose lives had been marked by hidden truths and quiet resilience. Cary Grant. Companionship beyond the spotlight. Cary Grant was first on Scott's list of admiration. Their friendship began in the 1930s, when they shared a home in Santa Monica. While tabloids branded them Hollywood's ultimate bachelors, those who knew them recognized a profound bond rooted in trust and companionship. Scott reflected, "We shared a home, a rhythm, a peace. The world will never understand what it meant to simply belong. For him, Grant represented the courage to live authentically in a world that demanded performance." Montgomery Clift. The sensitive star. Montgomery Clift was a genius of the screen, delivering haunting performances in A Place in the Sun and From Here to Eternity. Behind the camera, however, Clift struggled with identity, loneliness, and the pressures of fame. Scott admired Clift's artistry and vulnerability, calling him a poet of the screen. Yet he also saw the toll Hollywood's scrutiny took on Clift's spirit, understanding the fragility that often accompanies brilliance. Merv Griffin. Joy in private struggle television icon. Merv Griffin was known to the public as charming, witty, and effortlessly successful. Scott recognized, however, the quiet burdens behind that smile. Griffin gave laughter and entertainment to millions while managing his own private life with discretion and grace. Scott described him as a man who gave joy to the world but carried his own truth quietly, appreciating the balance between public triumph and private resilience. Jim Nabors. Innocence and heart. Beloved for his role as Gomer Pyle, Jim Nabors exuded warmth, humor, and generosity. Yet fame required careful navigation, forcing him to hide personal truths until decades later. Scott remembered him fondly, noting, "A man whose laughter came from love, and whose love the world was not yet ready to see." Nabors exemplified the strength required to live authentically in a world unprepared for certain truths. Cesar Romero. Charm, concealing courage. Cesar Romero, best remembered as the Joker in the 1960s Batman series, was celebrated for charisma and sophistication. Scott admired the restraint behind Romero's public persona. "The definition of grace under disguise," he said. Romero balanced charm with a private life that demanded vigilance, exemplifying poise in an era of scrutiny. Rock Hudson. Dignity amid struggle. Finally, Scott reflected on Rock Hudson, whose career and life mirrored the challenges of his generation. Handsome and admired by millions, Hudson endured years of secrecy about his identity. When the truth emerged during his illness in the 1980s, the world mourned both his death and the years he was forced to hide. Scott observed, "He carried a secret too heavy for one man, yet he carried it with dignity, recognizing the courage required to navigate fame and fear simultaneously."